And of course, in research and innovation, you had new possibilities. I always like this picture here where people were really testing the strength of the car, sending all people out there. But very early, they were testing about cooling or crash safety. I mean, this is not an invention of today, so we've had this a long time ago. Or here, the driver's field of vision was tested to minimize the pillars and get a maximized view. So the company had more resources for research and innovation, and of course, it's also showed here in car racing again. So we have to understand this car racing thing. Today, it's basically a marketing event or a sports event. You know, like many people come there. It's more entertainment. But in these days, where all the new innovations were tested, really, compressor, turbo, and aluminum bodies, and the Type C, so the Formula One car of this car, was one of the really first mid-engine racing cars. And all the ideas were tested in extreme situations, just like the picture, I put it there. And this kind of new innovation, technical features, always shows in design. So there is a strong connection. You cannot just do any kind of technical solution and then put some nice skin on top of it. No, there's always a strong connection between design, the surface, and what is inside. And like this guy, testing everything to the limit. These were the days when the Formula One cars are still driven in alpine regions. Well, like here, you see the guy working and trying to get the monster around the track. The last brand joining to Auto Union was NSU, actually the oldest brand of all. And this NSU brand also was famous for car racing, because if you do the car racing, you have to show the public that your cars are better than the other ones. And in order to be first, you have to get innovation, basically. So this is a direct link. And this shows, for example, this was the bound racing bike, 125cc, 242 kilometers an hour, back in '56. So this is pretty impressive. First Wankel engine and the NSU TT. This is where the TT name came from, the Audi TT. So, but this was not the first one. Okay, because there was another one before motorbike called TT. But everywhere in all the 5 brands now, basically, you always have this kind of sportiness and this drive to innovation. And also, the cars were not cheap at the time, so they were all premium brands. And this brings us then exactly to this our brand values. So we always had this passion in the automotive business, sporty cars. And sporty is not just, entertainment. It was really accepting accepting a challenge, and you have to try to get really to the top, be better than other ones. Also pioneering technology. That means you don't play safe. Sometimes you have to take risks. If you come up with new ideas, first you always have opposition, because people don't know the new ideas. So you have to be able to convince also people about your new ideas you have, and you have to prove it later, of course, as well. And quality is also the issue. If you do some racing 24 hours, you need the best quality possible. That's very simple. And also, if you want to convince customers, you convince them by quality, also perceived quality. If you see this car and people ask, well, but maybe it's expensive, then you did probably something wrong. But if they say, oh, this car probably is expensive, ooh, and then you tell them the price, okay, yes, I'm right, it's expensive, then you did something right. So whatever you do, it has to show what is inside, how is it made, and why. And these were then really our three brand values: sporty, progressive, and sophisticated. And this kind of sportiness and progressiveness, you have to accept this kind of challenge. If you always play safe, then probably you should change the brand. Yeah, so we are always sporty in mind, and also this sophisticated. This is basically equal to quality. Also achieving the highest quality, you need a sporty mind in this one. So this sportiness, young, attractive, dynamic, this is okay, but if we say sporty, immediately you have the cliches of big engines, wide tires, lots of spoilers, seat belts, and all these cliches of sportiness. But what is sporty tomorrow? Right now we are on a critical point of the automobile in general. The automobile is very, very successful in creating lots of problems. We are all aware of these problems and we need some new solutions. So, and sportiness, probably many people say we don't need sporty cars, we need safe cars, environmental friendly. But the sportiness gives us the emotion to the people say, no, I really want this because it's great, I like it. So only if you're emotionally evolved, you can probably convince people to buy this car and not another one. So your job is an interpretation of sportiness of tomorrow. So what is sporty tomorrow? There are so many different areas of sportiness. Just think about different sports in Olympic Games. You have the weightlifter, really heavy and a strong guy, but then you have a sprinter. Even something like free climbing is a sport. And they're always connected to some needs to society and to the kind of feeling of life. And this will be your job, interpretation of sportiness tomorrow. But also, what does it mean progressive? Progressive does not simply mean us, I go really crazy and wild. Progressive also means taking responsibilities, knowing about technology, what's new, what can we use, and then how far can I go really? Because if you're too far away from your customers, they cannot follow you anymore. So you need always the right distance. So if you want to have the Vorsprung durch Technik, that doesn't mean you have to lose the contact to all the people. You have to convince them. So you also have to make an interpretation of today, for tomorrow. What is progressive? We have here so many technical features, of course. You know them probably all. But what comes next? Yeah. So we are doing the next picture for the next 10 years, and also in design. What does it mean to be progressive in design? Many people think they get more emotional, they get more progressive when they get more complicated things. Maybe it's just the other way around. Life is complicated enough. So maybe you try to solve the problems of the people to keep it simple. Put it in the background. So and the last one, of course, also this sophisticated, this high value, this high quality feeling. Of course, if you put lots of leather inside and wood and aluminum, then interior looks really expensive and sophisticated, high quality. But is this true tomorrow? Maybe not. And this is exactly why we need you, because you have a different view, a different perspective. Yeah, maybe you don't live in this history of leather, for example. You say maybe some new plastic materials or nano materials. This is more our generation materials. So with the sportiness, progressive and sophisticated, we need constantly a new interpretation. What does it mean? So there is never one answer, forever. So sportiness is 500 horsepower. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe you have an electric engine in there, and then we need a new kind of sportiness. But the values always stay the same. And then, if all comes together, you get some really nice pictures. These lines, they look nice, they are working because of aerodynamics and technology. But this one nice picture is made from different single pieces. They all have to come together and create one nice picture of the brand or a nice product. And from our design philosophy, I don't want to go into detail here because probably you know all these things. Anyway, we talk about proportions, composition, volumes, surfaces, lines, graphics, details, materials, and whatever you do, your product is not standing alone. It's standing in the brand, in the context of the brand, and in a historical context. So if you do a new A4, there were already 8 A4s before, and maybe in the future there will some more A4s coming. So you have to take the responsibility. This is what it meant by continuity, consistency, and consequence. Your product has to fill in this spot, in this historical spot. And you have to respect the history, but also plan the future. This all belongs to our job as designers. Of course, then proportions. It's not only in cars, but also in our product design we have proportions. Sporty means very slim greenhouses, a very strong body with strong shoulders, but also the proportions you have to take care in products. Surfaces, they are not just there, they are really designed, the surfaces. They show the quality, they show the tension on products or even on details in the interior. And also lines. People like to sketch with a pen, and then we are all stuck with a line. Yeah, of course lines are important, but lines are just the borders of surfaces. And the surface is basically one part of a volume. So we have to consider all three elements. And whatever we do with our lines, they have to make sense. Don't do any strange lines which look good on the paper. All the products, they have to live a long, long time, and they have to make sense. So if you do some line work, really there is some kind of form logic. Yeah? Don't just do any lines you like today and tomorrow you don't like it anymore. No, it has to live a long time and has to make sense.